I grew up in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, in a fairly rural part of Lancaster County. We didn't have a lot of programs in things like, advanced math and technology, but we did have a teacher, who ran essentially all of the math department. He was able to figure out that I would find the logic components of computer programming. Having a 13-year-old have access to this old simple computer would eventually open a path that had me working with, some of the biggest companies in the world. When it comes to problem solving, definitely something that and puzzles specifically, definitely something that I've enjoyed doing since I was a kid. Whether it's a crossword or it's a strategy game or a mind teaser kind of puzzle, that's always been something that I've enjoyed doing, and I think it's probably pretty heavily linked to the career that I ended up in. My major at Penn State was quantitative business analysis, which sounds a little bit more impressive than it probably is. And it was a fair amount of math, a fair amount of statistics, a fair amount of things like simulation and forecasting, but a good base knowledge for, I guess you could say, all the different ways that you could use numbers to solve business problems. When I got into consulting, I found obviously a good opportunity to use that, some of that skill set. I got to life sciences and healthcare, quite honestly, through happenstance. I had done a good job on a project that had nothing to do with that area for a partner who ended up selling a really interesting program, essentially helping to create a pharmaceutical company essentially from scratch. One of the things I found about working in drug development and working in R&D more broadly was, again, there was this really interesting, tricky set of problems around how you take all of this data, information, quantitative information, the complexity of running clinical trials and capturing that data. But what I found was, this was a super interesting area that I really wanted to continue to spend time in, very much because of the way those problems kind of manifested and presented themselves. And I've done it for 30 years, and it's been fabulous. Problem solving, helping our clients in the industry that I work in, life sciences and healthcare, it has a very personal impact just in general. When, a client that you served on and off for 15 years develops the vaccine that helps kind of pull us out globally of a pandemic that's had a once in a generation impact. That's a different kind of personal experience. I can remember sitting in the convention center in New Jersey, having just gotten the first vaccine shot. And I served that client for years. And the wave of emotion that hit me, that struck me. The gratitude, it was very unique, and it was extremely personal. One of the really fulfilling things about having served clients in this industry was the ability to say to a client, I couldn't be more proud to have served you, and I couldn't be more thankful for what you've done. You can't help but admire the heck out of the folks who some of whom you know personally, for getting that done.